Guess who's not here? Athena's not here, but my friend, two guests. Dawn Lawrence is here, and she brought a guest with her. Dawn Lawrence from Happy Dog. Oh,
Basic Obedience.
yeah, and who do you have with you today?
I have my service dog, Maddie, who's sitting in the chair next to me. I don't know how. She's doing pretty good. Doesn't usually sit in chairs.
I put Dawn on the spot. I said, can the dog sit up in the chair today? So you don't. This is your service dog.
Yes, she is. She alerts on a medical condition I have. She stabilizes my walking. She picks me up if I fall down.
And you said she can sense a medical condition.
Yes, she can. She can. She gives me three to 4 minutes ahead of it,
Wow.
and I can then adjust my life to
That is great.
go around it.
Now, this isn't really the kind of training you do. You train dogs in obedience.
I do train dogs in obedience, and I am with the American Kennel Club as an evaluator for the Canine Good Citizen program.
Okay.
But I don't do service dog training. It's specific training that requires a lot of intensity, and I do mostly the basics, getting you just before that.
Basic obedience. Now, let me ask you some questions. One is that I go into this person's house, and their dog jumps on me over and over, and they tell them not to over and over. How many times should you be telling your dog to stop doing something?
Well, at Happy Dog, we follow the rule of three. I say, give them the command, wait a few seconds to see if they respond. Say it again, wait a few seconds to see if they respond, and then the third time, you should physically be interacting with the dog to say, okay, now that's enough.
Now, I see people, especially here in the tower, walking their dogs, and the dogs, their arm is stretched out, and the dog's almost pulling them.
No, we teach them to walk in the heel position on the left-hand side, which is the safest position when you're facing traffic to do a walk.
On the left-hand side, yeah.
On the left-hand side. Then if your dog is startled and moves away from you, they move both you and themselves into a safe place instead of in front of the car.
Now, do you train the dogs to the point where you don't need a leash?
I have. I don't. Very rarely do I use a leash with Maddie unless it's someplace new or confusing. And it's really my partnership with the owner, the dog parent, and what they want to do.
Now, I notice your dog has a choker chain.
No, she has a martingale collar on.
Martingale collar,
has
okay.
a loop this one happens to have a loop that's a chain.
Okay.
But the martingale is probably the safest training collar there is because it does not choke, it doesn't poke, it just simply
Sends them a
tightens,
message, yeah.
Sends them, you can talk to your dog better
Right.
through that.
Right. Now, I did some obedience training myself. That's why I sound like I know a little bit about it. But nobody knows as much as Dawn Lawrence with Happy Dog Basic Obedience. And who should be getting obedience training? What age should
I
the
think
dog
every
be?
dog,
Every dog
starting
should, yeah.
at 10 weeks,
10 weeks old.
should be in some kind of training. Puppies need socialization. They need to learn early. They're on a really good learning curve because everything is new. They are excited.
Mm-hmm.
They're good to go, basically.
Dogs are amazingly trainable, too.
Yes,
So.
and they are very open.
Are they all trainable or some kind of dumb? I mean, just like people, there's smart people and dumb people, right?
Well, I think every dog can be trained to a certain extent. You just have to have more patience with some dogs than you do with others. For instance, 16-year-old dogs are a little more difficult to train simply because they're set in their ways.
Yeah, So you need to start at 10 weeks or if you have to, a year or a couple years.
Yeah.
But no dog should be out of control, I would imagine.
No dog should be out of control.
Now, you talked about socialization. When they first start the training, do they come when there's a bunch of dogs there?
Usually what we do, because we provide private in-home training for you and your dog, we usually arrange to go to several of the dog parks in the area for socialization, or if your dog is a little skittish, there's several other places that I have permission to take dogs in.
And if a dog's skittish, it probably needs to be trained a little and socialized a little at its own pace. So
yes. And Maddie's staring at you.
Staring at me. She's so beautiful. So,
but I wanted to let people know today, Mike, that Happy Dog has moved its offices. We're now right straight across from the airport on Gateway Boulevard.
Sure.
So we're very easy to find, and they're welcome to come down anytime.
Now, let's separate it for a moment. You don't really train service dogs. You're just more the average run-of-the-mill dog that should be trained, but you're also in the associated with service dogs.
Yes, and I do educational hours with the elementary schools and with different groups that want to learn about the ADA, or the Americans with Disability Act, and what they can and cannot do with their dog.
Now, let me ask you this. When somebody sees a service dog with its partner or handler, should they run up and start petting it and talking to it and stuff like that?
No, always address the handler,
Yeah.
never address the dog. The dog is trying to be good and do the work that it's been trained to do. And the distraction of someone running up and petting the dog might be the exact moment when the dog needs to be doing
Needs to be paying attention to its
what
job,
it
yeah.
needs to be do for the person.
But a lot of people do it anyway. So
Right.
I just thought we could use this moment to train the people out there.
Yes.
We get a lot of service dogs in here at Central Valley Talk. I just have learned to pretend that they're not there. Their handler will decide what to do and when to do it. And
Exactly.
I've never made one sit in a chair like I did for your dog.
He's like, okay, can I get
This
down
is not
now?
my spot. This isn't my spot. So obedience is more to take it, just your everyday dog and give it some training and teach it how to behave in situations, teach it how to react to its handler.
Mm-hmm.
And no dog should be jumping on people or running away from its owner or chasing a ball out into the street or something like that. So
Okay.
let's say you can get down. You did a good job. You did a good job today. We'll send her union performance check for performing on camera. So where if somebody saying, yeah, I've got a new dog, or I have an old dog, whatever the issue is, and they say, we got to do something with this dog, where should they start?
They should start by calling us. Our office number has not changed. It's 559-369-6466. And we will schedule you for a free, no charge consultation. You'll meet with me and come into the office with the dog.
Okay.
And then I'll give you as many tips as I can in that 1 hour, no charge
That's
again.
nice, a free hour.
A
Okay.
free hour. And then we decide together, where do you want the dog to be? What do you want your dog to learn? And we put the package together with that in mind, and then we schedule some time together later on if you decide you want to do lessons. If you decide no, then nobody's lost anything but an hour.
Right. I could take my trained dog. Of course, I took it to a place like you. It wasn't you because this is so many years ago. You would have been a little child when I went.
Well, you're very kind.
But my dog, without a leash, would heel, walk right beside me. She would not vary even an inch or so. And if I went into a store, I said sit and stay, she would be there in an hour.
Oh, yes.
And it didn't
Oh,
take
yes.
that much work to get them trained that
No.
way. So anytime I see a dog pulling or jumping or being out of control, and the owner can't communicate a message that the dog gets, it's not the dog's fault, I don't think.
No, it's not. It's usually the or the handler who has not done the homework and trained the dog to behave.
But I tell anybody watching, one session, I don't mean a one-day session, but one period with a dog trainer like Don Lawrence, and every dog you get from then on will be different.
Yes, everything I teach is teachable to any dog.
Right.
So I don't and if you have specific things you want your dog to learn, for instance, I had one dog who the owner is a gymnast and wanted the dog to dance, so we worked out a routine where she could show off her gymnastics and the dog could dance with her.
Now we know to call your phone number. Is there a website or a
Yes,
Facebook or
please
something?
go to happydogbasics.com. We're updating it even as I speak with the new address and new information, and you'll find out all about our packages. We do have packages. We give discounts all over the place, so don't think that you can't afford an in-home trainer. Give us a call. We make it very affordable, and for any disabled veterans out there if you need a dog or you have a dog you want trained, we have a program called the Pet Veterans Fund, and it will fund your training all but $20.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing. And a lot of veterans could use a dog.
Yeah.
And especially they're disabled and they don't need a dog that's out of control and pulling them. And,
Nope.
that they can't keep
No.
it out of the street or whatever. So that's
Exactly.
that's a nice thing to have. Anything else you want our viewers to know?
No, I just hope that you all have a very happy dog day, and I hope to be talking to you again soon.
Very good. Don Lawrence, Happy Dog Basic Obedience. That's the first level of obedience training. They could go be in a dog show after that, right?
Well, I don't know about that, but we could work that way.
We could work toward that. We'll be back with more Mike and Athena Live right after this.